All right, guys. So I stumbled across this segment from a left-wing commentator, David Pakman. Okay, and I watch quite a bit of left-wing commentary, and the reason why is because it gives me an idea of what they talk about, some of the talking points they use, and their arguments. Okay, and I also kind of get video ideas as well too, right? To see what is the thing that people are talking about in politics. Now, it's funny because here in the conservative space, not just me, but other commentators as well too. We make videos making fun of Joe Biden, right? And the fact that he clearly is losing his mind. Okay, he's clearly not in the optimal headspace to be president of the United States, and we have clear-cut examples of that from various points in his presidency, in which he's making some unbelievable gaffe, some mistake, he's lost right in the sauce. That's all there, and I think that is actually worth talking about, considering he is the sitting president of the United States, and we should highlight that because people should understand that the sitting president of the United States might not be in a good state of mind, right? I think it's totally legitimate, right? Now, on the other side of the aisle, right, the leftists, it's funny because they don't really have an incentive to go after Joe Biden for him and his apparent cognitive issues, because they've spent so much time telling us how bad Trump was, right? How much of a brain dead, crazy person that Trump was, right? So them, again, going after Biden is going to be a little bit awkward. So you got to understand, a lot of these people, they built up their following and their brands based off, hating Trump, having Trump derangement syndrome, calling Trump a racist, homophobic, sexist bigot at every turn, right? When he was president of the United States. Now that he's out of office, they really can't really talk about him all that much because he's not in power, right? Except they still try to, okay? Because they're desperate. It's almost like if, Biden loses in 2024, which he probably definitely will, to a Republican, whoever it is. It's like me coming up here and still talking about his cognitive deficiencies, despite the fact that the man is not in office, simply because I'm desperate to talk about Joe Biden, right? To rag on Joe Biden. Okay, that's what it is. It's desperation. And this clip right here from David Pakman, again, in my opinion, reeks of desperation from the left to continue to go after Trump for any little thing, okay? Because they need that. They need that. They've thrived off of that for years. So that being said, in this clip right here, David Pakman is going to basically imply that Trump is using a racist dog whistle because he's making a joke about nukes and the N-word. And I'm telling you, this right here is hilarious because it's so desperate, right? They take anything Trump says and they extrapolate it to the worst meaning possible, right? So let's get into it.
Some people wrote to me again and they said, what is going on with the N-word being used by failed former President Donald Trump? This is starting to get really strange. I almost think Trump's trying to just appear to be provocative. Trump multiple times now has referred to nuclear or nuclear, depending on your pronunciation preference, as the N-word. And now he did it again at some kind of event. I don't know if this is a fundraiser or a party or what it is. Trump now saying, hey, everybody went crazy when I referred to nuclear as the N-word. Take a look.
We have the greatest nuclear force in the world. You don't want to do that. I call it the N-word, okay? I said that to a group of people. They said, the N-word, oh, he said a horrible thing. I said, no, the nuclear word is what I thought. He said, oh, he said a horrible thing, the N-word. And I said, no, the N-word is the nuclear word. The nuclear word is something that's not supposed to be discussed. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about it, but...
Why are people even clapping? Like, it is completely incoherent what he's saying, and people are clapping because Trump says you're not supposed to talk about the nuclear. What?
Okay, so this guy, because he's simply trying to just bash Trump and try to act like Trump is some idiot, okay? He's a bumbling buffoon like Biden is, his Lord and Savior is. He doesn't really understand that Trump's making a joke, right? Trump, I think what he's saying, and I've listened to him say this multiple times to make sure I get a feel for what he's doing and what the joke is coming from. You know how you're not supposed to use the N-word, right, in society, right? We all know what the N-word stands for, right? You're not supposed to use it, right? And we call it the N-word, okay, because you're not supposed to use the actual term. I think what Trump is saying is that Putin openly uses the N-word, right? Nukes, right? Nuclear, okay? He constantly talks about how Russia's a nuclear nation and we have nukes and we'll use them. In fact, he low-key kind of threatened to use nukes if anybody from NATO or the U.S. interfere in the war in Ukraine, right? That's what he said, okay? But I think what Trump is trying to say is that we don't ever do that. We don't use the term nuclear, right? We don't talk about how we are nuclear power and how we have weapons of mass destruction. Right, and I think what he's doing is trying to compare the use of the word nuclear in the United States to the N-word, how we just call it the N-word, how we don't use it. Okay, I think that's what he's trying to say. I think that's the joke that he's trying to tell. And in a further clip that he's going to use, I think is going to prove my point.
He's been talking about it. Again, he's a major country, a serious nuclear power, and he's talking about it.
You see how Trump is like, yeah, I mean, Putin, on the other hand, he's using the word nuclear. He's talking about it, right? He's serious. So again, I think it's obvious that he's making a joke about how we don't flex the use of the word nuke like Putin does.
Okay. So Trump now is referencing when he went on Fox News program. I don't even know what it's called. It's a program with Stuart Varney. It's called, I don't even know what the show is called. Stuart Varney's program on Fox Business. And he played the same kind of coy game.
Well, and hope to God you never have to use it, because that would be the tragedy of all tragedies. But if we didn't have it, we couldn't talk. But I listened to him constantly using the N-word. That's the N-word. And he's constantly using it, the nuclear word. And we never talk. We say, oh, he's a nuclear power.
What do you guys think?
See, guys, is it not obvious what Trump is doing here? He's basically saying that in the U.S., we don't ever talk about our nuclear capabilities or anything like that. But Putin's running around flexing Russia's nuclear capabilities all day long, right? And it's almost like we're treating using the word nuke over here in the United States like the N-word. Like we just don't use the word. We just don't talk about it. Okay, I think that's what he's trying to say. I think it's very obvious that is the joke that he's going for there, okay? Now, whether or not you think it's funny, it doesn't matter. It's clearly a joke, but let's see what left-wing genius here, David Pakman, extrapolates from Trump's obvious joke here. And nobody should be surprised.
Think this is about? Is this some kind of a dog whistle where white supremacy... I'm making this up, by the way, guys.
Of course you are, because it's bullshit. You pulling out your ass. You know it's a joke, but you ran with this segment anyways. He titled the video, Trump Bizarre N-Word Rant Doing Broken Speech, okay, in order to get views, right? That's what he did, knowing damn well that it's a joke. This is a non-story, okay? You literally did a video about Trump making a joke about the N-word and nukes. Okay, but no. He's going to ask the question of, do you think this is a racist dog whistle that Trump is signaling to white supremacists, right? That's what he's going to extrapolate out of this. Again, this is the desperation coming from the left here. It's so hilarious.
A dog whistle where Trump is signaling to white supremacists, I can't go around using the real N-word, but I'm going to say the N-word and pretend I'm talking about nuclear, but I'm actually talking about the N-word. Is it a dog whistle that only some people understand? Is it Trump trying to just be provocative by using the term N-word, even if it has nothing to do with the actual N-word? I don't know what he's trying to do.
It's a joke, right? It's a joke. It's literally a joke. And this guy knows it's a joke. See, I would never stoop this low, right? I will never stoop this low to try to insinuate that an innocent joke could possibly be Trump doing a racist dog whistle, right? I think at one point last year, Joe Biden, the president, actually slipped up and said the N-word, like the actual N-word with an ER.
Challenges Europe and the United States must take on together is broad and complex. And I'm eager to hear.
Yeah, so Joe Biden clearly slipping up and using the N-word. Now, I look back to my video archives. I was like, I can't remember. Did I make a video about that? And lo and behold, at least from what I saw, I did not make a video about that. Well, why is that? It's because I'm simply not that desperate to reach where there's really nothing there. The dude clearly said it on accident, right? He clearly slipped up. His speech was slurred, okay? And, I mean, furthermore, there's a clip of Joe Biden using the N-word in Congress in which he is repeating what somebody else said, and I've never used that against Joe Biden. to say that he's racist, because there's plenty of other things I can use to prove that Joe Biden may or may not be racist. But I'm just saying, I know the context of that clip, and I know what he's doing there. Therefore, I'm not going to use it and try to insinuate it's something that is not. Again, I got other evidence and things I can use to say that Joe Biden may not be racist. I mean, kind of like, his pictures with, a member of the KKK, and his comments about, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. All the things that Kamala said about Joe during the debate. There are plenty of things I can use to say that Joe Biden's racist. What I'm not going to do is take him accidentally saying the N-word or saying the N-word in the context of repeating what somebody else is saying and try to say, well, that's a racist dog whistle, right? I'm not going to do that because I'm not that desperate. I'm not going to stoop that low. However, this guy right here has no problem stooping that low. In fact, he's going to go even lower as he's going to try to make an innocent joke that Trump made with Matt Gaetz and his wife and try to make that out to be some type of bizarre moment that, again, is totally normal stuff.
Very, very strange. One last bonus clip just about how weird things are that are going on lately. Here's Trump talking about when he met Matt Gaetz' wife. This was over the weekend, I guess, at Mar-a-Lago. It's just all very bizarre.
And I do remember when they met, he came up, I said, who the hell is that, Matt? Not that I noticed those things, but I said, who's that? I said, Matt, I don't know how well you get along, but assuming you get along, that's the one for you. And now it's you've come a long way together, haven't you? It's a great couple, and we appreciate it, and we love you both, and we're with you all the way.
Real weekend at Bernie's vibes starting to go there at Mar-a-Lago, but very strange. What's this N-word stuff?
Very strange. Trump basically making a joke about how Matt Gaetz' wife is beautiful. That's what he's saying. He's like, when he came up with her, I was like, who the hell is that? Right? I don't know how you met. I don't know if you got along or whatever, but, if you do get along, then that's the one for you. He's basically giving her a compliment. But very strange stuff, according to David Pakman. Very strange stuff going on at Mar-a-Lago. We need to investigate this a little bit further. These guys are desperate, bro. It's sad, okay? It's sad. Okay, it's one thing to go out to Joe Biden for his very obvious mental deficiencies, okay? He's running the country. But it's another thing to do this, right? I don't know what this is. Like, what is the point of this?
Stuff about, guys, let me know. I really don't understand it. You can find me on Twitter at @dpack.
Yeah, so that reeks of desperation. They wish Trump would say the N-word. This is the closest they'll get. Allegedly, there's tape of Trump actually saying the N-word out there, but I'm pretty sure it's not true that it doesn't exist, because it did. It would probably be one of the most valuable tapes in the world, okay? Because the mainstream liberal media would love to have evidence of Trump actually saying the N-word, right? But again, this is the closest they'll get, and this is what left-wing commentators have to freak out about and to talk about until they get that tape of Trump actually saying the N-word. Again, I wouldn't hold my breath that is actually going to pop up, but who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.